16 when this happened. Still living with my parents in our small, quiet neighborhood. Safe, familiar, predictable. That night was supposed to be easy. They went to a wedding. Old college friends of theirs. They left around 5. Said they'd be home by noon the next day. I was used to being alone. I even liked it. Just me, the couch, Max, our golden retriever, and way too much junk food. I was halfway through re-watching a horror movie on Netflix. Max was curled up at my feet, breathing slow, steady. The kind of peaceful that makes you forget anything bad could ever happen. Then, around 11 p.m., he sat up, suddenly, ears perked, eyes locked on the hallway. He didn't bark, didn't growl, just stared, completely frozen, like he heard something I couldn't. I paused the movie, muted the TV, waited. Then it came, a creak, from the back of the house, near the kitchen, right by the back door. I felt that familiar rush of logic try to take over. Maybe the house settling. Maybe Max heard a squirrel outside. The door creaking could have been the wind, right? Except Max didn't move, but neither did I. Then I heard it again, a shuffle like someone brushing against tile. I slowly got up, went to the kitchen, flipped the light on. The door was shut, still locked. I started to breathe again until I looked down. There were muddy footprints. Not paw prints, not shoe prints from earlier. Fresh. Wet. Leading inward from the back door. And that's when I saw the latch. We had this second lock, a sliding one up high. It only works from the inside. We never use it. It's stiff, loud, obnoxious. But that night, it was unlatched. I froze, knife still in hand. I backed away slowly, eyes on the floor like it might tell me something I missed. I locked myself in the bathroom. Max followed me in. I heard nothing more, just silence. Then I called the police, and they came quick, cleared the house. No one was inside. No forced entry. They said maybe I forgot to lock it. Maybe the prints were from earlier in the day. But they didn't explain the second latch. They also didn't explain why the security footage glitched. We had cameras, inside and outside. My dad was obsessed with home security. The backyard camera froze at 10:56 p.m. It stayed frozen for 26 minutes, until 11:22 p.m. Exactly the time frame when I heard the creak and found the prints. They never caught anyone, never found fingerprints, but I know what I saw. I know what I heard. Now I check that lock every single night, even if I'm sure it's shut. Because someone came in that night, and for whatever reason, they left without making a sound.
This happened the summer after I turned 18. My parents had gone to visit my aunt in another state. I had the house to myself for a full week. I was excited. I had my own routine: work, movies, late night snacks, staying up too late scrolling Reddit. I was careful, locked the doors, kept my location private, didn't tell anyone I was alone. By night 4, I was settled in. It was hot. The windows were cracked, the fan was going, and I was in my favorite hoodie, bright red, oversized. At exactly 2:13 a.m., the landline rang. We never used it. It just sat on the kitchen counter like decoration. I didn't even know it was plugged in. I stared at it. It rang again. I let it ring out. Too creepy. Not even a minute later, my phone buzzed. No caller ID. I hesitated, then answered. A man's voice whispered,
"Why aren't you answering your house phone, Emily?"
I froze. My heart dropped. He said my name. I didn't speak. I couldn't. Then the line went dead. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the floor of my closet with a baseball bat, convinced every creak was a footstep. The next day, I tried to rationalize it. Maybe someone I knew playing a prank. Maybe some scammer found my name online. But it didn't stop. That night at 2:17 a.m., the landline rang again, then the cell. Same number, no ID. I answered, furious, screamed into the phone. All I heard was a laugh, low, drawn out. Then he said,
"You look cute in that red hoodie."
I dropped the phone. I was wearing it. That exact moment, I was wearing it. I ran, didn't even grab shoes, banged on my neighbor's door until they answered. We called the police. They tracked the number. Burner phone, pinged from a few blocks down. That night, I slept on my neighbor's couch. When I got home the next morning, I checked everything. The windows, the doors, the yard. Nothing. But then I opened Instagram. I had posted a mirror selfie 2 days earlier. In my room. In that hoodie. The caption? Home Alone vibes. I had accidentally tagged the street name. Whoever he was. He saw it. He saw me. And he was close. I never stayed alone after that. We moved 6 months later, but sometimes I still wonder, did he come to the door? Was he outside when I picked up the call? And what would have happened if I hadn't answered?
Last year, I rented an old townhouse. It was cheap, quiet street, decent space. It seemed perfect. There was only one weird thing. The vent in my bedroom. It connected to the crawl space. At night, I'd sometimes hear faint noises. I assumed it was plumbing or rats. Then one night I was gaming with friends, headset on, volume up. Around 1:30 a.m. I thought I heard something. I paused, took off my headset, listened. Silence. Then it came again, quieter this time. A whisper.
"Can you hear me?"
I stood up slowly, stared at the vent. Didn't move. I waited. Nothing. I barely slept that night. The next day I told myself it was my imagination. But I couldn't shake the feeling. So I decided to check. The crawl space entrance was in the hallway closet. I opened it with my dad's old flashlight. It was cramped, dusty, smelled like mold. But there, in the far corner, was a blanket, empty water bottles, food wrappers, and next to it, a burner phone. I backed out, closed the door, called the cops. They searched the crawl space. Whoever had been there was gone. No fingerprints. just evidence that someone had been living under my room for days. The back basement window was cracked. No lock. Easy entry. Later we checked the indoor camera footage. Over 3 separate nights, a figure could be seen slipping through the basement, skinny, wearing a hoodie, always in and out fast, except the 3rd time. They never left. That was the night I heard the whisper. He was under my bed, listening, speaking through the vent. They never found him. I moved out a week later. But sometimes, when it's really quiet and I can hear the air blowing through the ducts, I swear I still hear it.